Like that says that make me laugh.
I don't think he was born a man.
I don't really like that name.
Let's make him laugh. I don't think he was born a man, do you?
What do you think you were born? I think you were...
When do I think I was born?
Yeah, what do you think?
Make me laugh.
I can tell you no.
So guys, this is Sultan. I'm here at Washington Square Park. So I made a friend here.
My name's Jason.
So this is Jason. He's at Washington Square Park. So Jason was saying something about 420, and I said I don't know what 420 means, and he had to explain to me what 420 means.
Well, I told you 420 was the best day I've seen in Washington Square Park ever.
Right.
Best energy, most people. It was awesome.
And then what did they do on 420?
No, and then after a little while of passionately talking about it, you said to me, "What is 420?"
Yeah. Because I didn't
You're
know.
awesome that you tell me you didn't know. Nobody says that. Everyone gaslights each other.
Right.
So we had a really cool conversation about that.
Yes. But Jason is a nice person. Jason, can you tell us about your spiritual life and what made you choose this path?
Oh boy. I accidentally fell into an adult education class when I was like 20 years old in Washington, D.C. I was going to George Washington University, and I ended up in a adult education class like the Learning Annex or New School, where they promised that if you took this one class for an hour, you would have an out-of-body experience.
Right.
And I went, and I didn't have an out-of-body experience. Nobody had an out-of-body experience. But at the beginning of this lecture, the teacher said, by a showing of hands, how many of you are familiar with the Seth material by Jane Roberts? And every fucking hand went up except for mine. And I've never been in a situation in my life where every single person knew something except for me.
Right.
So I found out about this incredible spiritual author, Jane Roberts, and her subject, Seth, a interdimensional personality.
Right.
And after that, I had like 250 out-of-body experiences in 1 year in college. And I became so spiritual. Like, I was still a badass. I opened this escort agency later, and I've done crazy things. But personally, since then, spirituality's been number one to me.
Right.
So I'm probably the world's greatest sun gazer. I look at the sun with my eyes wide open when it's the brightest and strongest, and the UV is at the highest, and I love it.
How has spirituality impacted your life? How has spirituality impacted your life?
Well, in so many ways, but one big way that I'll say is that it's the focus of my life. It's the number one consideration I have on anything.
Right.
Like, for example, one day you're gonna die, right?
Yes.
One day I'm gonna die. Our soul leaves our body. Do you believe that or no?
I do.
Okay, so if you know that, like I know that, then we're only here for a short time, but our soul exists virtually forever, like billions of times longer. Earth is the greatest library in the universe. This is the place to garnish and gain wisdom, and in my case, besides wisdom, energy.
Yes.
Like, you can't get this sun energy where you're going after you're here.
Right.
The only things you can take with you when you die are experience, wisdom, and energy.
Sure.
So like, people would run around if they saw gold in the streets, and they'd be picking it up like lunatics, really greedy.
Right.
To me, the energy of the sun is like gold. And I would say everyone's crazy not to be getting as much as they can like me, but they don't have the foundation of understanding of what the heck's coming out of the sun.
Right. So Jason, for me, I do believe that, our flesh and body is just a vessel carrying our soul.
Right.
And then the death of the flesh is not the end of life. So spirituality is a good thing, but to our new generation that are coming up, would you recommend to them to be spiritual, and how can they be spiritual?
I recommend to them, stronger than any other generation that I've known of that ever existed. We're in a generation where everyone's living in a totally fake reality.
Right.
What I mean by that is, I'm a natural man.
Right.
I'm a fucking natural man. Everyone's living in non-natural, fucked up, man-made, fake realities.
Right.
Like a reality with another fake reality on top of that, on top of another fake reality. Like, the way we're supposed to be is natural and
Right.
real. We're supposed to be real men, real women, and people are so far from that. They're so fucked, and the only lifeline they're possibly going to get is spirituality and ultimately the creator, God.
Right, right. So, no, I was asking, how do you stay spiritual? Is it by channeling some energy, by reading books, or how do you stay spiritual?
Once you go spiritual, you can never go back. Like, once you gain true wisdom, it's very hard to lose that wisdom and fall backwards.
Right.
So it's kind of like a staircase where one step leads to another, leads to another. Like, when I was younger, I didn't give a shit about the fluoride in the water. I didn't even know it was a neurotoxin.
Right.
Like one of the strongest neurotoxins. And I didn't avoid it at all. But later in life, I took care of it, and I have none of that type of water in me for almost a decade now.
Right, right.
But so it's almost like life's a game, and we're supposed to learn all of these things and figure them out before we exit. Because I think once we exit, I think the learning is not fast like people fantasize about.
Right.
I think they're kind of stuck with the wisdom they got when they were here. I think that's why so many people come back.
Right. So I also remember that
I don't want to come back. Do you want to come back?
Well, if the life over there is better,
There's
I
so
wouldn't want
many
to come.
amazing other
I
places
wouldn't want
to
to
go.
come back. I wouldn't want to come back.
I don't want to come back.
Also, you talked about not having television for so many years because you believe
8 years.
8 years because you believe the media has been brainwashing.
I told you at a
people.
minimum, it
So tell
makes
us about
everybody like cookie cutter the same.
Right.
It subconsciously programs everybody to be so similar, and I never want to be similar to anybody. I'm me. It's also programming, and it determines your values, your
Right.
morals. It's just disgusting,
Right.
and it's fucking boring. Like, it's just an addiction. They had patents of what they do during the station breaks and their logos spinning. Like, they got hypnotism, magic,
Right.
trickery, fuckery. They're so deep in people's heads, and people don't even know it.
So you think the media has divided us more than united us?
Oh my God. It's fair to say the media is evil and the media is the enemy. Yeah.
Strong words. Strong words. But I do appreciate you. And then one final thing is, you said you used to own what firm?
Ha. I'm a lawyer, but I didn't own a law firm. I own
Right.
New York Confidential, the largest, most famous, and most expensive escort agency in the world. And the escort agency that discovered, trained, and picked Ashley Dupree, Alex Earl's stepmother, to take out Elliot Spitzer, Governor Spitzer.
Right.
Like, she knew exactly what she was doing.
Wow.
And she was picked because she was, at the time, the best. Like, the cops wanted an irresistible, or the intelligence agency, Homeland Security,
Right.
wanted the most irresistible girl to a powerful man.
Yes.
And she was 19 at the time, and that was her.
Wow. That's strong. Was it lucrative? Did you make a lot of money out of it?
It was, no, I didn't make any money.
Anyway, guys, so this is Jason. Thank you so much.
That's
for
just my
preaching.
stupid past. I'm more proud of my
it's not
spirituality.
stupid. Sometimes
I'm
it's
proud
better
of
to
teaching
share your
people that
life
the sun is their
story,
friend
and you
can't
never know how your story might impact somebody's life, because this world, I feel like people are so depressed, and sometimes we're all looking for ways and means to ease our depression and anxiety. So whatever you come across, if it makes you feel better, and it impacts your life positively.
More importantly than that, everything happens for a reason.
I agree.
To me, to you, to every single person here, everything is important, and everything happened perfectly, just the way it was supposed to.
Wow. All right, Jason. Come on.
I look at the light. Yeah, I'll repeat
I was
it.
writing it off for business.
Okay, okay.
I feel like Anna would wear something like that.
Never not wear it. You don't need that. Trivia?
Washington Square Park.
I don't know where she is.